Hello everyone, this is Sheila. I'm back with, it's just a small tutorial to show how to do this stitch. I have just made this up myself. I'm knitting a little cardigan, so I'm going to show you how to do this stitch. There's only 4 rows to the pattern, so it's very easy. And I'm just using 4mm needles with this. All out the way. And with this one here, because it's a cardigan I'm knitting, I'm telling you how many stitches I have at the start here and the start at the end. But you can do this to any plain pattern, but it must have an odd number of stitches for the pattern to come out the same at both ends. You know, you start off with a lace part and finish with a lace part. Well, I have 51 stitches on here. I'm not sure whether this is going to be a 16-inch or an 18-inch, because once I get up to what I would do the armholes for a 16-inch, it'll give me a better idea. I'll be able to measure it better, so then I'll know what size, whether it's going to be a 16 or a 18. I'm counting on a 16, but if it does happen to end up in 18, I'll just add an extra inch to the length and work the instructions out to that. But the first row is knitting 3 stitches. So you're knitting 3 stitches in garter stitch. And the next 2 stitches you're going to knit 2 together to bring the wool forward in front of the needle. Knit the next stitch, bring the wool forward again, slip your next stitch off the needle, knit your next stitch and pass that slip stitch over that knit stitch. And then we're going to knit 5 stitches across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to do that again, what we've just done on there. Going to knit 2 stitches together. Bring the wool forward in front of the needle. Knit the next stitch. Wool forward again in front of the needle. Slip your next stitch. Knit your next stitch and pass that slip stitch over the knit stitch. And then you're going to knit 5 stitches again. So those 5 stitches you're knitting is 1 stitch as part of the lace pattern. The 3 stitches in the centre are the garter stitch, and the last knit stitch is part of your next pattern here. So that's how the pattern goes across the row, and I will knit across the row and come back to you when I get to the end. So we're going to the last part of the pattern, so we're going to, I've knitted the 5 across there, so I'm going to knit 2 together. Bring the wool forward in front of the needle, knit 1 stitch, get some wool off. Wool forward in front of the needle again, slip your next stitch, knit your next stitch and pass that stitch over. And then we're left with 3 stitches at the end, so we're going to knit those 3 stitches. And I always knit into the back of my knit stitch. If the row ends with a knit stitch, I always knit into the back because it tightens up the stitch and gives you a neater edge. So row 2 is just, we're going to knit the first 2 stitches, then we are going to purl 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we are going to knit those 3 garter stitches that's in that stripe going down there. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then again we're going to purl 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we're going to knit the 3 garter stitches, and that is how that row goes. And I will be back when I get to the end. So we're now at the end of the row, and I've knit the 7 purl stitches and the 3 garter stitches, so that's 10 stitches that's actually knitted all together. So we're going to knit 7, purl 7, sorry, 2, 3, 4, that's 5, 6, 7, and knit the last 2 stitches. That's the first 2 stitches of the first 2 rows, sorry, not stitches. Now the next row is the easiest of the lot. It's just knit all the way across. So that's all you have to do for that row, is knit every single stitch. Now I will meet you at the end of that row. And I'm now at the end of the row, and I'm just going to knit the last 4 stitches. Now the 4th row of the pattern is exactly the same as the 2nd row. So the 2nd row you're just going to knit 2 to start. I've got my wool wrapped around my chair leg here. So we're going to knit the first 2 stitches and purl 7, exactly what you did on the 2nd row. So there's 2 rows are actually the same. One row is the actual pattern. 2 rows are the same on the wrong side, and 1 row just plain knitting all the way across. And I've knitted more than I should on there, so I'm going to have to take that back. That's with talking when I'm supposed to be teaching. 2, 4, 6, 7, that's it. I've done 8 instead of 7. That's 1, 2, 3 knit stitches, and then 7 purl stitches. And then knit 3 stitches. And we'll carry on across the row, and I'll meet you at the end of that row. And we are at the end of the row, the last 4 stitches, so I'm going to do, I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then knit the last 2 stitches. So that is all it is to that pattern. And maybe as if someone was doing it on the bottom of a matinee coat, maybe do about 3 lots like that, the lace, and then just knit 2 rows of garter stitch across the top to finish off the pattern, and then just do plain whatever you want to do after that. But this was just a little bit wool, well, nearly a full ball of wool I had left over from a baby blanket I was doing, so there should be enough to do a little cardigan. As you see, it's nice, so it's got one or two little deeper pink spots in it. So that's the tutorial for that stitch. And if anyone wants the instructions, to write them down. Don't take any notice of this bit at the top, because this is from a pattern on the other side. But I am writing my own pattern down for this. There will be a PDF when I do all the 3 sizes to it. So it's for, I have it for a 16 to a 20-inch garter stripes. That's what I'm going to call it, a garter and lace stripes button-up cardigan. You want 325mm and 4mm needles. And I have cast on 51 stitches. I haven't wrote everything down here. These are just my quick notes that I know what I'm doing. So I've cast on 51 stitches, and I used the 325mm needles, and then I knit the garter stitch for 4 rows. And the row 1 is knit 3. Then it's in brackets, I've put knit 2 together, wool forward, knit 1, wool forward, slip 1 stitch, knit 1 stitch, pass the slip stitch over, and then knit 5, and that's the end of the brackets. And then repeat what's in brackets till you have, what I'm doing, till you have 3 stitches left, and then knit those stitches. And row 2 is knit 2, and in brackets again is purl 7, knit 3, repeat those stitches in the brackets until you have 2 stitches left, and you knit those 2 stitches. The third row is just knit, and the fourth row is the same as row 2. So that's all it is to the pattern. It's very easy for any learner, anyone just beginning. So if you like that tutorial and would like to see more, please subscribe, and I will catch you another time. So bye for now.